Find Joy with Joyan Season 2. I'm your host, Joyan Chan, and every Wednesday we bring you inspiring stories, powerful message, and fun conversations with me and my special guests and friends, and it's my personal mission to empower you to live and lead a life with joy. This podcast is for you if you're looking for more joy, courage, passion, and purpose in your life. Now let's dive into today's episode and get ready to laugh, learn, and live your life to the fullest. Hi, it's your host Joyan Chan. Happy September! Whether you are a Season 5 Joy with Joyan listener or you are totally brand new here, either way, you are in for a treat. Today, I have something exclusive for you. I want to share an interview I did a while ago that I believe will really help many of you, especially if you're thinking about starting something. It could be anything. And in this interview, I talk about how I started, how I built my brand, and the best part, along with the ugly truth of entrepreneurship. And the host asked some really great questions, ones that I have never been asked before. So it was a really fun and exciting conversation. And my hope for you is that my story, my journey, my lessons learned, my failures, and my successes will inspire you today to start something. That's what I want to share with you today in this episode. Something very close to my heart because I have not shared this interview with anyone before. So you are the first one to listen to this exclusive interview. So now, enjoy the show. Hi everybody.
Hi. How are you doing today?
Good. Because I'm actually in Singapore right now, so it's quite late for me. But this is where I usually start working because I work with a lot of people in the US and Canada. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so Joy, would you like to share your backend story? How do you come into this online field? How do you come as a speaker, as a podcaster? So share your story, please.
sure. So yeah, I didn't know that I was going to become a coach or podcaster or even a speaker. It wasn't something that I aspired to do, right? So my background is actually design and fashion, and so I was before COVID. The story begins when COVID happened. So before COVID happened, I was running a retail business in Singapore with my business partners at the time, and after doing it for so many years, I was losing my passion. I felt I wasn't passionate about what I was doing anymore. So I realized I needed change, right? I needed to change my life, what I was doing. So I told them, okay, I want to quit, right? I'm quitting, I'm leaving here, and I'm going to do my own thing. Although at the point of time, I have no idea what I was going to do. So I left the company. I started exploring different kind of ventures. I attended a bunch of seminars where they talk about marketing and all that stuff. And I became obsessed with marketing because one of my business partners is very traditional, very conservative when it comes to running a business. So I had, I will always bring back these marketing ideas, and he always rejected my idea, right? He always tell me no. So that's when I became frustrated and I wanted to do my own thing, right? Just want to apply all the marketing and everything that I learned from attending all these, seminars. So I decided, okay, I'm going to do my own thing and just make it work. So I tried e-commerce, I tried drop shipping, I tried a bunch of different online ventures. And eventually COVID hit and I still couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. And so other things happened as well, including relationship and my PR and all that got rejected. So I actually have to move back to my home country when COVID happened. So I just fell into depression because I was losing myself, I didn't have money coming in, and all of a sudden the world was shutting down, and I realized actually I was struggling with depression all this time, just that COVID was the trigger. So I fell into depression and I was stuck at home. I didn't know who am I, what I wanted to do. When I had my wake up call, I found myself again. If you believe like spiritual awakening, that I had that moment where I had my spiritual awakening where I found my purpose. So it was about telling my story. So I went online. Actually, this is how I started, right? Here's the juicy part. So I created a Facebook page. I created a new IG page, right? And I just started showing up and doing Facebook Live like what we're doing now, and started sharing my story and just sharing about depression and all that stuff. I wasn't going to be a coach or anything, but then I attracted people from all over the world listening to my story and thanking me for telling the truth and for being vulnerable, for being real. So that's how actually I built my brand, and that's how I actually became a coach, because a lot of people that asking me for help, like, can you help me, can you coach me, I need
Mm.
help, so you are my inspiration. So that's how I started having calls with these people, that I realized actually this is one of my gifts, right? I can help people, I can inspire people, I can help them overcome certain struggles in life. So eventually I started my coaching business, and I just love talking to people. I love having other people, sharing their story to empower others. So I started a podcast, and that's how I'm here today with you in this room.
That's amazing, amazing. I love to hear your story, how you like there is lots of people who found their passion during the COVID when they
Yeah.
stay in home and they explore their self, what they want and what they need. And they same in my case as well. Like I also started in COVID. So I believe 80% people jump into the online space while they are staying in home. They explore themselves, what they need, what they want. They are not getting their all the things with 9 to 5 job with under of anyone else, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so Joanne, according to you as an entrepreneur, what quality should we have?
All of them, right? Like you said, 80% of the people jump into this industry. To be honest, and I'm sure, and I dare to say, not all of them are successful, or most of them are struggling, right? This is the
Mhm.
fact, right? Most of them are struggling. A lot of them couldn't get leads, they couldn't get sales, hence they don't have any clients, and they are struggling. Everybody calls themselves an entrepreneur today because it's cool, right? But
Mhm.
what you really have to have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. I have been a coach for 4 years now, and it wasn't easy, right? I'm sure that's how we started. It wasn't easy, and a lot of people quit 6 months when they didn't get any results because of all the things they have done and still not seeing any results. They blame the coach, they blame the marketing gurus, right, for not delivering results for them, but ultimately it's you. In the first 6 months, I didn't have any clients. Although yes, people are asking me for help, but I just wanted to help them. Like I don't want to charge it. I don't call them my clients. So I just want to help people. And I realized I can't do this anymore, right? So I have to turn it into a business. So I would say the qualities is really you have to know business, to be honest. And because of my business background, I run business before. It's very different, right? It's online and
Mhm.
retail. It's very different. I would say the biggest struggle for me was now I'm doing it all alone. Before that, I have business partners I can talk to. I have
Mhm.
a team. I have people. I have staff. It's easier to manage people than to manage yourself, because now you're an entrepreneur. What do? You wake up every single day. You don't know what to do. Like literally today, I wake up. I was like, okay, what do I do today, right? So that's the reality of running a business when you are just you, right? A coach, an
Yeah.
entrepreneur, solopreneur. So yeah, I would say it's really discipline. I would say discipline is huge. You have to boss yourself. You have to tell yourself what to do, and you have to do it, right? A lot of people they have all these things they want to do, but they don't take any action. So implementation is key as well. It's not just about learning. I can learn from so many people, right? I can learn from you. I can listen to this podcast, but at the end of the day, it's about taking action. So I would say discipline and taking action.
Yeah, you're right. Like consistency
Yeah.
as well. Like
Yeah.
if you don't have consistency to do a same work again and again, you cannot be an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
This is a
exactly.
simple thing. Yeah. Joy, how have you grown yourself personally as entrepreneur?
Um, wow. I mean, to be honest, I don't recognize myself anymore. Because when I look back on, and this is the powerful thing, right? Entrepreneurship, I would say, is the biggest, because I'm big on personal development. I attended I love Tony Robbins, right? I attended
Mm-hmm.
a lot. I always want to grow myself, and I think ultimately entrepreneurship is the ultimate personal development program that you could ever enroll in, or so how have I grown myself? Yeah, like I said, I don't recognize the person I am today because I've changed so much, right? And in the very beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. I was so bad at speaking. when I look back, I suck at video, I suck at speaking, I suck at all these things, but it was the best that I can do at the moment. And I kept going, like you say, consistency, right? I kept going even though I suck. I kept going even though no one was watching. I kept going even my friends were judging me for putting
Mm-hmm.
myself. But I kept going, right? Because I had a why, I had a vision for what I wanted to create for myself. So I said that because a lot of people, they are so afraid when they're just getting started. They're so afraid of
Mm-hmm.
looking stupid or on camera, right? Or speaking in front of a live audience. They're so afraid, and so they don't put themselves out there. They don't start a podcast. They don't write a book. They don't go live. They don't, do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's how you improve, right? You won't improve yourself if you don't do anything. You're gonna stay stuck. So I kept going, right? I kept going on other people podcasts like this, and I started my own podcast. So that's how I've grown myself. And because at the end of the day, like again, it's about taking action, right? If you want to grow your confidence, it's not about waiting for the moment that you are ready or waiting for the moment that you are confident. You grow confidence in the doing. That's how I managed to build a brand from the ground up, because I just kept putting myself out there, right? I just keep showing up consistently day after day. And if you were to compare the person 4 years ago, the Joyan Chan 4 years ago, and the Joyan Chan today, you will see a huge difference. That's how far I have come, and how far I still have to go, because what I'm doing today is the best that I can do right now, with all the knowledge that I have, with all the experiences, all the skills. So if I want to go to the next level, I have to do more, I have to be more, I have to learn more. So yeah, that's how I see it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so Jaya, if anybody, any coach or any single new person who wants to start podcasting, like how they can start?
Yeah, I love that question. Just start, right? Just start, because I coach so many clients. I help them launch a podcast, and a lot of them initially they have this fear, which is I'm not ready, right? I don't know what to talk about. I'm not ready, or who am I to start a podcast? The imposter syndrome, or the fear of not being good enough, or I have to wait next month or next week. I don't have time now for a podcast, right? All these excuses that I heard over and over and over again. So I would say a lot of people are stuck at the where do I start? So starting a podcast is so simple, but it's your mind that is tricking you, because you have all these fears, like I said. So once you have to work on your mindset first if you want to start a podcast. It's about that. It's not about you can get the best microphone, you can get the best software, the most expensive software, but all podcasters use. But at the end of the day, if you don't get over your mind
Right.
blocks, right? That's you will never ever start a podcast, even you have bought the most expensive microphone. Okay, here's a question that I'll ask people if they come and tell me, Joanne, I want to start a podcast. I'll ask them, okay, you want to start a podcast? Why don't you have a podcast yet? What is standing in the way? What is holding you back? Then I will work with them on that part. What is holding you back? So that's how they, tell me all the excuses. Then I will help them do the, how do we figure out your name, the team, right? What do you talk about? The messaging, your audience. You don't talk to everyone, but you speak to a target specific audience. Who are you creating this podcast for? I will help them create their messaging, topics, and if they want to have guests, where do you find them? Of course, I will give them a list of equipments to use as well. So that's how you start a podcast.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So Jaya, like what is the benefit of starting podcast?
You have a podcast. We are on a podcast right now, so I'm sure you know all the benefits. And how long have you been podcasting? I'm just curious.
I was not consistent, but almost 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. That is amazing. A lot of people quit in the first 3 episodes. That is a fact. You can Google it, right? If people don't believe me. So yeah, the fact that you have been podcasting for 3 years, and me too. So that's something, right? Again, consistency is key to success, especially when it comes to podcasting. I have to say, I always tell my clients, don't expect people to listen to you when you're just, getting started. Don't expect to have 50 or even 100 listeners when you put out your
Mhm.
first episode. It's not going to happen. I want to set the expectation right. But if you keep going, I guarantee you will get results for sure if you keep going, which is why a lot of people quit, because they want quick results, they want immediate results. But podcasting is a long-term strategy. Once you have built that, it makes your life and business easier down the road. The beginning part, yes, you might struggle a bit, it's challenging, but once you have established that, your brand, your authority, you have captured your market share with a podcast, your business is gonna take off, one day, just like that. So benefits, in terms of benefits, I would say it's really to build a brand, right?
Mhm.
That's how I built my brand, because I was a nobody. How am I going to let people know who am I? So podcast, I figured it was the best platform for me to show who am I, what I stand
Mhm.
for, share my story, to share my voice and my message and connect with my audience, and also attract a group of people who will listen to you because they know, like, and trust you, because you only listen to people that you know, like, and trust, right? So here's another thing: a lot of podcasts out there. Yes, there are many podcasts out there, but you will attract your tribe. You will attract people who know, like, and trust you. And with a podcast, that is how you accelerate the know, like, and trust. And we all know in marketing, you have to build that know, like, and trust in order for them to buy anything from you, to work with you, right? So that's one benefit. And the other one is really to connect with your audience, because right now there's so many, noises, cluttered, in the marketing space, in the online space, especially in coaching. So how do you cut through the noise and grab the attention of ideal clients? Is with a podcast. Again, when people listen to podcasts, it's really flexible. They can they're doing their cooking, they're doing dishes or anything, right? Tedious tasks, and they can just plug in and listen to your podcast. That's how you connect with them while they're going through their day-to-day routines. I find that's the most efficient, the most flexible as well. And imagine people listen to it. It's really this intimate connection that you create with your audience.
Mhm.
And I always tell people, when people listen to you long enough, imagine they listen to every single episode, they listen to everything you said, they will become your clients, right? If they listen to you long enough. So yeah, imagine someone like an audience, right, watching your episode, this podcast Facebook Live from first episode all the way to episode 30, that's 31, what we're doing now.
Yeah.
I'm sure that person will become a client one day, right? Otherwise, she would not be listening, would not be tuning into the podcast every week. So that's another benefit. And the other one is really to build your brand. We all know how powerful personal brand is. This a term that I like to refer to is branding by association, right? Let's say right now this is what we are doing, right? I don't know you, you don't know me, but we come together, create a podcast episode. If you are a speaker or if you're a coach, right, then when people see me together with you in a
Yeah.
conversation like this, they will see me as a coach, as a speaker as well. So that's how you associate yourself with someone else. That's how you tap into their audience. That is how you borrow their authority, right? Or borrow their credibility, borrow their audience when you don't have one. That is the fastest way. Is one of my secrets as well. That's how I was managed to build my brand, because I was being seen with these people who are famous, right? Who are well-to-do, who are successful in the space that I wanted to be in. So that's another secret that I can share with you. Otherwise, they're just everything that you can think of. A podcast is what a podcast can do for you. So I would love to hear your thoughts as well. How has having a podcast helped you in your business?
In podcast, being a honest experience, it's a huge thing for me because I get more visibility, I get
Yeah.
more authority. Like I always recommend to other people, if they want to do something, just try to understand or think about their interest. After understanding the interest, try to find the expert people in your nation, start podcasting. It's a simple. So what
Yeah.
happen? You will get more knowledge, you will build more connection with open-minded people and experts, and you get more exposure, right? So
Yeah.
there is lots of benefits. Like I get lots of leads with podcasting.
Yeah.
Like every week I show up, people know about me, and I get lots of high ticket clients with podcasting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful, right? Yeah.
Yeah. There is lots of benefit, like I just stop
Everything.
sometime, like 1 month or 2 times, then again I again came back, again I
Yeah.
started, because I love to do it. Like people love to know about your story,
Yeah.
knowledge, like while you are sharing. So we are asking some question, people sharing their experiences, and lots of people are people can get the general knowledge from YouTube and Google. But when
Yeah.
we are doing the podcasting and sharing experience, learning other people experience and failure, and like all the things, people get more trust, and like they can resonate with it. right?
Yeah, totally.
So
Yeah.
that is the huge benefit. Like when people just send me message, Norina, last day I see your podcast and I really love it. I get lots of learning. There is a different entrepreneur, there is different life story, experiences and failure while when they are sharing. People get, like guideline, what they can do and what they cannot do. There is lots of benefit
Yeah.
doing a
All of
podcasting.
them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So, Jay, would you like to share how can be a best speaker? According to your experience, how can be a good speaker?
How can people become a good speaker? Again, I'm gonna say what I said before. Just have to speak. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said in the very beginning, I suck. I wouldn't say I suck because I'm really hard on myself, but speaking is something that is a skill, right? Podcasting is a skill. It's everything is a skill that you can learn. So how do you become better at speaking? You just have to speak. Really. You can't read books on speaking. You can't watch a bunch of YouTubes on speaking. You have to speak, right? And
Yeah.
so that's how I approach it. And which is why again I said in the very beginning, you have to have a vision for yourself. Okay, who is the person that I want to become? Like I had my vision, my ultimate vision, which is I want to be a TEDx speaker. I want to write my book. I want to build a successful business. I had a vision of the woman that I am becoming. So because speaker was on my list, which is why I said yes to every opportunity. Like if you were to reach out to me 4 years ago, I said yes immediately. I said yes to all podcasting opportunities, being a guest, or even speaking at a summit, webinar, masterclasses, you name it, I have it. Even though I was scared, even though I've not done it before, even though I had no idea what I was doing, I said yes and figure it out later. So that's how I approach speaking. And of course, I also watch, like I said, you can't watch a bunch of YouTube videos, but I have a list of people. So I had this I call them my role models. Like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
like this woman speaker or female speaker. I like this speaker, right? Because of this, because of that. I love their energy. I love how I will watch their videos and I will listen to them. I will observe them. And then I would subconsciously, I will try to do what they do. Yes, you have to learn from people who are good at speaking. Then you have to implement it, right? You have to speak. You have to
Yeah.
get yourself a stage. Or if you don't have a stage, that's why I love podcasting, because you can create, don't wait for opportunities to come. Create your own opportunity. And how do you do that? Start a podcast.
That's amazing. Okay. So, Joanne, what is your daily routine?
My daily routine, interesting. I don't really have a fixed routine. That is what I love about being an entrepreneur. Again, because before that I had a 9 to 5 job, right? I have to go to the office. So that's why I felt stuck. I felt like I didn't have any freedom, although I was a business owner, but I felt like the business runs me. Like I said before, when you don't have a job, you have to tell yourself what to do, right? Like today I work out, what do I do, right? Today. So again, it's good and bad. So try to have some routines, so I always start my morning with a workout. I will do meditation. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
lie, but yeah, I just want to be very honest. I try to meditate. Sometimes I skip. Most of the time I skip because I just couldn't. So workout is a must. I do exercise, I move, right? And then I will just write down the things that I need to do today. I don't really have a fixed task, for every day. After I done my exercise, I just sit down and say, okay, what do I do today? What do I need to get done today, right? And I will look at my schedule. Do I have podcast today? Do I have interview with you today? So then I will just walk around my schedule. And I like to be free, because I don't know about you. I need to do things when I feel like doing it. If
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like creating content today and I force myself to create content today, the content will not be good, right? So I will ask myself, I will listen to my intuition. Okay, maybe that sounds woo to some of you, but that's how it works. It works for me. So always figure out what works for you. So I will ask myself, okay, what do I feel like doing today? In terms of work wise, in terms of building my business, what do I feel like doing today? Do I feel like creating content? Do I feel like creating a podcast? Do I feel like creating a landing page or whatsoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll say, okay, if I feel like doing content today, I feel creative, then let's create content today. I still do things that move my business forward, still serve my clients. That's my routine, if that makes sense.
That's amazing. Like, okay. So, Joy, what is the hardest part as an entrepreneur?
The hardest part is being an entrepreneur. That's true, right? I mean, yeah, the hardest part is just being an entrepreneur. So wow, I really love all your questions. It makes me think because like these are questions that I have not asked myself before. Um, it's really to not give up, I would say.
Hmm.
Really, it's the hardest thing being an entrepreneur is not giving up because the moment you give up, it's the moment you stop being an entrepreneur, right? It's if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
quit, you go back to your job or you find another job. Recently, I was talking to someone. I'm not sure if you know, are aware of Tony and Dean's event. The game has changed recently. You know, it's huge, right? Because I saw this guy. He was in the
Hmm.
chat. He was just sharing how much like he's struggling right now. He has been building his business for 6 months. He's still not getting clients. He's about to give up. So I saw his comment. Immediately, I reached out to him because I can relate to his story. I was like, yes, in the very beginning, 6 months, I didn't have any clients. So I reached out to him not to sell him anything. I just want to be there to support him. I just want to share with him my story of struggle. How I struggled, but I didn't give up. I kept going, which is why I got to where I am today. I just want to talk to him, right? I just want to really like support him. So actually, we connected over Zoom call for an hour and more than an hour, and I don't want to see people give up. So he was saying, he didn't have any income, he didn't have any clients, he's about to find a job, things like that. I was like, don't give up, because there's no failure. Failure, you only fail the moment you give up. If you keep trying, it will work, right? You'll find something that works. So entrepreneurship is a journey. So to answer your question, I would say, yeah, the hardest thing is not give up because there's so many moments, I'm sure for you as well, right?
Yeah,
Or anyone listening to this, there's so many moments I wanted to give up, to be honest. I was sitting on my floor, I turned off the light. I was so depressed because things were not working, right? I tried this, okay, and it didn't work. Now what? What
yeah,
do I do? You're so lost and you're so depressed and you don't know what to do anymore. So lonely and isolated because no one knows what you're doing, even your family or your friends, right? So really not to give up. And I'm glad that I didn't, like yes, you will have those moments, but you just have to let yourself just cry, just do anything you want to let that frustration, the sadness, the emotions, let it all out, and then just try again, the next day.
yeah. Just keep going. Consistency. Okay, so Joy, what is your favorite part as an entrepreneur?
My favorite part,
Yeah.
um okay, I would say it's being in control of my schedule, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, for that I had to go to work. I had to I have a fixed lunch time, not really, but I have to go to work at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. depends. So right now I'm really in control of my time, and I love that. If I want to travel to Bali next week, I can. I can just book a ticket. I can be in Bali
Yeah.
next week. And if I want to, if I want, yeah. So entrepreneurship is a struggle, right? But again, I love that question because we focus so much on the negative. But here's all the beautiful things about being an entrepreneur. If I want to have lunch with my parents on a Wednesday afternoon, I can't. I can just call them and say, hey, let's go for lunch, right? I can bring them to a cafe or restaurant and nobody was there, right? It's empty because everyone is working. But we get to enjoy. I get to do anything I want at any time. That's what I love being an entrepreneur. Like I said, being in control of my schedule. I can do anything I want. If I want to travel next week, if I want to call my parents for lunch, if I want to bring them out for lunch, if I want to go to the gym in the afternoon when nobody is there, I get to enjoy the whole gym, right? So that's really what keeps me going. Maybe, it's
Yeah.
freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically freedom. Your
Yes.
own boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jay, there is one more question. According to you, if a person who is totally brand new, don't have any online business idea, according to your experience, they want to start any online business. So, which niche would you like to recommend and where they can go?
Like they don't have any idea at all.
Like they want to do something online, but they
Okay.
don't have any idea, like video editing, copywriting,
Right.
coaching, consulting, what they do. What do you recommend?
Sure. Yeah, I can totally relate because I was in that exact place, right? Okay, so if I would, yeah, I will ask them this one question, okay, which is if you could do one thing and get paid for the rest of your life, like what would it be? If you just do one thing and you get paid, right, for the rest of your life, good money, right? I'm saying a lot of money, lots of money.
Yeah.
What would that be? And usually they will tell me something. And usually it's their biggest passion. It could be music, it could be video editing, it could be podcasting, it could be, I don't know, creating content, right? It could be writing blogs, anything, right? Or it could be gardening, it could be parenting, it could be this, it could be anything. And that is the answer that you can have, right? I cannot tell you what is it. You have to tell me what what do you want to do, and
Yeah.
what you want to do, for sure, it's
Yeah.
deep inside your heart. So I will ask them that question, like, what is one thing that you would do if you get paid for good money,
Yeah.
right, for the rest of your life? And if you don't know where to start, I would say just start creating content,
Mm-hmm.
and talk about things that you're passionate about. Again, another question is, if you don't know what you want to talk about, if I give you a microphone and let you talk for 20, 30 minutes, what would you talk about? And usually, I'm sure we have something to talk about, and which is our biggest passion. So for me, it's podcasting. For you, is lead generation. So yeah, I would say if you don't know where to start, just start creating content and you will figure it out. You won't figure it out just by sitting here and thinking, what do I do? Right? You figure it out. It's in a journey. I'm sure my story will relate to will help some of you if you're figuring out. I
Mm-hmm.
started as a confidence coach. I started out as a confidence coach. I wanted to help single women with their relationship. I wanted to help single women who are so afraid to go into the dating pool, to go out on a date, to meet guys, right? I wanted to help them. Like, that was my biggest passion so I started out as that coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then eventually I pivoted again to helping female entrepreneurs with their business, with their branding, with their visibility, as you mentioned. I pivoted again, right? And now see what I'm doing. I'm a podcasting coach. I'm all about helping
Yeah.
people launch a podcast. So you see, can you imagine, right? I I didn't figure out everything on day one. When I'm on this journey, I started, I keep going, I do things, I create content, I create podcasts,
Yeah.
I speak to people like you, I learn more things, right? And I see what are the results that I'm getting. So then I pivoted and pivoted and pivoted. I'm sure I will pivot again. Hopefully not, because I really love podcasting, but I never know, right? So you just have to get yourself into the game, right? Just get in the game, start creating content, start doing things. You won't get clients, but you just start doing things, and you can even create a podcast and just talk to people. There's so many things you can do. So don't get so caught up in the idea of I need to find that one thing, right? Or I need to
Yeah.
have the niche. No, you will change your niche for sure. I'm not sure about you. Have you changed your niche? I'm just curious.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I also did.
yeah,
You know, I was doing like affiliate marketing and then affiliate marketing to just come into the coaching and consulting.
yeah. See, right? We
Yeah.
all pivoted, and it's how business works.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Okay,
Yeah.
so Joy, like according to you, there is lots of people. What do you think? What is the reason to failure in online business?
Again, quitting, right? Quitting too early, and especially in podcasting as well, is quitting too early. If you Google it, right, the average
Mm-hmm.
podcaster quit after 3 to 7 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just keep going, so yeah, I would say it's quitting too early
Mm-hmm.
and not taking action. Or you try one thing, you try one strategy and it didn't work. You say, oh, it doesn't work for me, right? It works for them, it doesn't work for me. I'm a failure. I'm gonna quit and go do something else, right? Or you jump from one strategy to another and nothing seems to work. Because why? Because you keep jumping. Maybe
Yeah.
you just need one tweak in your headline, in your landing page, right? Then it works. You say, no, it didn't work. Try another one. It didn't work. Try another one. Okay, I'm sure you know marketing, right? It's about testing.
Yeah.
You have to keep testing until it works. Everything works. All these strategies that people are teaching you, everything works. Whether it's having a podcast, doing a webinar, creating
Yeah.
content, TikTok videos, everything works. Those strategies work, but you have to find something that works for you. Just don't quit before you find that. Because if you keep
Def-
going, you keep trying, if you keep testing it, it will work for you. So these are some of the things that I see quite common in the coaching space.
Like I remember the one paragraph of a Think and Grow Rich book. There is a two people who was searching the, I believe, gold mine, or they are mining the gold. And
Yeah.
before, like almost they was there, like 2 inch or something, and they just give up. you know,
Yeah.
and I can't find it. There is no more gold. So what
Yeah.
happened? The other person find the gold and they again do the some like dig and they find the gold. There is
Yeah.
lots of gold. It's
Yeah.
all about keep going and show up.
I love that you mentioned it, because sometimes when I want to give up, I also
Mm.
think to myself, what if the next thing will
Yeah,
work?
yeah.
Right? What if?
Mm.
What if I just try it one more time? Just one more time. That's my
Yeah.
mantra, right? Just one more time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like I always remember this paragraph, like when I am thinking, no more, I am just living it. It's not for me. So what happened? I just again recall it, and I just again read this paragraph. Like this is almost I am close to my success, you know. So
Yeah.
that is the thing. Like when you are thinking and failure of business or anything, you are close to your success. It's
Yes. Yeah.
one more
Love that.
step and you are close. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that perspective.
Yeah. Okay. So Joanna, where do you see your business in next 5 year?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I do see my business. I'm really about, passionate about podcasting and helping people launch their podcast, because like like we talk about, there's so many benefits of having a podcast. And I know more and more people are going to start a podcast. So my goal for my own business is to start a podcasting agency.
Mm-hmm.
Basically to build a team of people, professional team, like a world-class team, to help people launch their podcast, launch and grow their podcast. That's what I see myself doing in 5 years' time. It's not just me anymore as a coach helping people, but with a team that we can actually help more and more people succeed with podcasting. So that's how I see it, my business. How it will happen, right? Because I'm gonna make it happen.
That's amazing goal, like it's
Yeah.
basically serving the people. You are just coming out these people, they want to do something and you are showing them the right platform and giving them the exact roadmap, how they can start and how they can be a successful as a
Yes.
podcaster. You are the example in front of them people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just something that reminded me, because I don't there's so many podcasting coach or agency already, right? Helping people launch a podcast, make a podcast. But what I'm teaching is different. Like what makes me different is that I don't help you just I don't teach you how to launch a podcast, right? I teach you how to succeed with podcast.
Mm, that
Totally different things, right? So yeah.
yeah, that is the thing, like how you can search, like people can search from things on Google and YouTube each and everywhere.
Yeah.
So the thing is they don't get accountability, they don't know how to do and how to deliver your podcasting, like
Yeah.
which strategy they need to use it. Yeah.
And they don't have a strategy, they don't know so they don't know where they're going, they don't have a strategy. So yeah, that's what I'm teaching my clients. It's not just the technical part, right? Like I said, you can Google it, I don't need to
Yeah.
teach that.
Yeah.
So what I'm teaching is what you cannot find on Google.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You cannot get the accountability with the AI or
Yeah.
Google. So the person, the coach who is giving you the all the things he or she already tested and proven, and they're giving in your hand. Yeah, that is the thing. Okay. So any last word or any advice before we are wrapping our session?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for all your fantastic questions. As a podcaster, I know how important it is to ask great questions. So thank you so much, and so often I'm the host, right? I'm asking questions, but it's really fun for me to be on the other side of the mic. So thank you so much for having me today. And your questions are fantastic. It really makes me think now. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. If you have any questions or would like to ask me anything for a future Q&A session, please let me know. And as you know, podcasting is truly my passion and my purpose is to help others start a podcast. So if you are interested in learning more about podcasting and how to start your own podcast, I have a free on-demand webinar available. You can watch it at your convenience to learn how to launch and monetize your podcast today. The link is in the description below, and I hope to see you there. Thank you again for tuning into Find Joyan podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, take a screenshot and share it on your IG story and tag _podcast so I know you are listening. And leave us a positive review on Apple Podcasts if you haven't already done so. And remember to hit the subscribe button whether you are listening on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, or any of your other favorite platforms. If you love what we are doing and want to become one of our sponsors, you can send me a DM to connect. And thanks for being here. I will see you soon in the next episode.